tissues and crying and crying. And then I thought, look, I've got to get a grip here and do something useful for Diana. And I decided the first thing that needed to be done was to find somebody to write and deliver the eulogy.
These 2 hours, the presenters on every news channel were saying, injured but expected to make a full recovery, and I have no idea why, but it made me so angry.
I will be reducing the extent of the public life I've led so far. My first priority will continue to be our children, William and Harry.
For years, many believed Princess Diana's brother and sister would never publicly weigh in on the ongoing drama surrounding Meghan. While the world debated, they chose silence. But now, that silence has finally been broken, and their unexpected words have caught royal watchers completely off guard. Some believe their remarks reveal a side of the story few people ever considered, while others think they could change the conversation forever. So, what do you think? Were Diana's brother and sister right to finally speak out, or should they have stayed silent? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To help us create more videos and uncover the latest royal stories, please subscribe. Lady Sarah's long silence ends. For almost 30 years after Princess Diana's tragic death, Lady Sarah McCorquodale chose a life far away from the public spotlight. While the world continued to revisit Diana's story through documentaries, best-selling books, television specials, and endless royal headlines, Sarah remained remarkably quiet. She never sought attention by sharing private family memories or offering public opinions about the monarchy, Prince Harry, or the growing controversies surrounding the royal family. Instead, she protected her privacy and allowed others to dominate the conversation. That decision made her stand out even more because, in a world where almost everyone seemed eager to speak about Diana, her own sister remained silent. As the years passed, that silence became increasingly meaningful. People began wondering whether Sarah was simply choosing to stay out of the spotlight or whether she was waiting for the right moment to speak. That mystery only deepened public curiosity, making her reported decision to finally weigh in all the more surprising and significant. That is exactly why recent reports suggesting that Lady Sarah has finally shared her perspective have drawn so much public attention. Unlike royal commentators, journalists, or television experts who observe events from the outside, Sarah speaks from a lifetime of personal experience. She knew Diana long before the royal titles, the palace walls, and the constant glare of cameras changed her life forever. To Sarah, Diana was first a beloved sister, not a global icon admired by millions. They shared childhood memories, family traditions, private conversations, and countless moments that the world will never truly know. That deep personal connection gives Sarah's reported views a unique emotional weight. Whether people agree with her or not, many believe her perspective deserves careful attention because it comes from someone who knew the real Diana behind the public image. The timing has made the story even more fascinating. For years, public discussion surrounding Meghan Markle has repeatedly returned to comparisons with Princess Diana. Some people believe both women experienced overwhelming media pressure,
He's so similar to my mum.
relentless public scrutiny, and enormous challenges within royal life. Others argue that those comparisons ignore the many differences between their lives, circumstances, and experiences. Through every stage of that long-running debate, Sarah remained completely silent, allowing others to shape the conversation. But now, reports suggest she may finally feel compelled to speak. Whether driven by concern, careful reflection, or a desire to protect her sister's legacy, her reported involvement has added an entirely new dimension to an already emotional story, leaving many people wondering what changed why now, and what her perspective could reveal next. Lady Sarah's decision to weigh in on the ongoing debate surrounding Meghan has surprised many because of her long-standing silence. But delving into what she said, what is the relationship between Prince Harry and his mother's relatives? Could their views about his wife have been shaped by emotion, or were they simply being objective in their assessment? Let's find out. Harry's bond with Diana's family. When Princess Diana died in 1997,
there was this sea of flowers. So many people travelled to London.
Prince Harry lost far more than a mother. He also lost the person who had been at the center of his world. In the difficult years that followed, his connection to the Spencer family became even more meaningful. Diana's relatives were not simply members of his extended family. They were people who had known and loved his mother long before she became the Princess of Wales. They remembered the young woman who laughed at family gatherings, shared childhood memories, and lived an ordinary life before royal duties and worldwide fame changed everything. For Harry, they represented one of the last living connections to the mother he missed every single day, carrying memories that no documentary, biography, or television tribute could ever fully recreate. Because of that deep family bond, many people naturally believed Prince Harry and Diana's relatives would always stand on the same side. After all, they shared the pain of losing Diana and treasured the same memories of the woman they loved. As Harry's disagreements with the royal family became more public through interviews, documentaries, and worldwide media attention, many assumed the Spencer family quietly supported him. Even without making public statements, their silence was often seen as a sign of loyalty. But silence does not always tell the full story. Behind closed doors, families can wrestle with difficult emotions, differing opinions, and private conversations that the public never hears, making the truth far more complex than it first appears. Recent reports have started to challenge what many people believed for years. If Lady Sarah McCorquodale's reported perspective differs from Prince Harry's public position, it may suggest that his relationship with Diana's family is far more complex than it appears. Loving Harry as a nephew does not automatically mean agreeing with every decision he has made. At the same time, protecting Princess Diana's legacy may require a different kind of responsibility. Like many families, Diana's relatives may be trying to balance love, concern, honesty, and loyalty, while carrying the weight of painful memories under the constant spotlight of worldwide public attention. That possibility completely changes the way many people view this story. Instead of asking whether Diana's family supports Harry or stands against him, a much deeper question begins to emerge. Can preserving Princess Diana's legacy sometimes lead those who loved her most to see certain events differently? If the answer is yes, then this story is no longer about taking sides. It becomes a deeply emotional struggle between family love, personal memories, and the lasting responsibility of protecting the legacy of one of the world's most unforgettable women. Beyond serving as Prince Harry's closest link to his late mother, what could have compelled Diana's family to speak out about their in-law Meghan? Will their perspective carry more weight than public opinion? And why has the issue they are weighing in on divided the public? Let's uncover the intriguing details. The comparison that refuses to fade. Few royal debates have lasted as long or stirred as much emotion as the constant comparison between Meghan Markle and Princess Diana. From the moment Meghan became part of the royal family, many people began drawing parallels between the two women. Supporters argued that both entered one of the world's most closely watched families, faced relentless media attention, endured intense public scrutiny, and struggled under enormous pressure while trying to adjust to royal life. Every major interview, documentary, public appearance, or headline seemed to revive the discussion, convincing many that history was repeating itself in a different generation. As the years passed, the comparison became one of the most talked about and controversial topics in every conversation about Meghan and the monarchy. Not everyone agrees with the constant comparisons between Meghan and Diana. Many critics believe that while both women may have faced intense media attention and personal struggles, their journeys were shaped by very different circumstances. Diana lived in a different generation, experienced a different royal environment, and faced challenges unique to her own time. Meghan, on the other hand, entered the royal family under a completely different set of expectations and public pressures. Because of this, some argue that placing both women in the same story oversimplifies their individual experiences. They believe that sharing certain struggles does not mean their lives follow the same path. In their view, understanding each woman's story on its own is the fairest and most respectful approach. That continuing disagreement helps explain why Lady Sarah McCorquodale's reported perspective has attracted so much public attention. Unlike royals, commentators, historians, or television experts, Sarah's understanding of Diana is not based on books, interviews, or media reports. It comes from a lifetime of knowing her as a sister, long before royal titles, palace life, and worldwide fame changed everything. She remembers the real Diana, the young woman who laughed, cried, shared family moments, and lived an ordinary life before becoming a global figure. Those memories give Sarah a perspective that few people can truly claim. Whether people agree with her or not, many believe her voice carries a unique level of credibility because it is rooted in personal experience rather than public interpretation. Today, the debate has grown far beyond the question of whether Meghan and Diana share certain experiences. It has become a much deeper conversation about where genuine similarities end and unfair comparisons begin. Until that question is answered, Princess Diana's legacy will likely remain at the heart of every major discussion involving Meghan, ensuring the debate continues for years to come. There has been debate about whether Meghan experienced the same things Diana experienced within the royal institution. But is such a comparison fair without first critically examining what Diana went through? Did her family know her well enough to give their opinion on the topic? And does Diana's family view the debate the same way others do? Let's find out. The Diana the world never knew. Long before the world knew her as the Princess of Wales, Princess Diana was simply Diana Spencer, a young woman growing up within a close-knit family, surrounded by the ordinary moments that shape every childhood. Before royal ceremonies, grand palaces, newspaper headlines, and worldwide fame transformed her life forever, she laughed with her siblings, spent time with relatives, and created countless private memories that never appeared on television screens or front pages. Those quiet moments belonged only to the people who loved her most, and no matter how many biographies are written or documentaries are produced, the public can never fully experience the woman who existed before royalty changed everything. Few people witnessed every chapter of that journey more closely than Lady Sarah McCorquodale. As Diana's older sister, Sarah knew her through every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence to adulthood, and the extraordinary years that eventually made her one of the most admired women in the world. She remembers far more than the famous photographs and public appearances that shaped Diana's image. She remembers the daughter who loved her family, the caring sister who shared life's happiest and hardest moments, the loyal friend, and the warm-hearted woman whose true personality existed long before millions came to know her name. That lifetime of shared memories gives Sarah a perspective that no royal commentator, historian, or television expert could ever fully possess. As the debate over Princess Diana's legacy continues to grow, the perspective of those who knew her personally has become more important than ever. While millions remember Diana as a beloved royal icon, a symbol of compassion, and one of the most famous women in history, her family remembers something far more personal. They remember the daughter, sister, and loved one who existed long before the cameras arrived. That difference in perspective could shape how they view today's comparisons, controversies, and royal disputes. What the public sees through headlines, Diana's family sees through memories, making their understanding both unique and deeply meaningful. In the end, this story goes far beyond Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, or even the royal family itself. At its heart lies a much deeper question that continues to divide opinions around the world. Who truly has the right to define Princess Diana's legacy? Is it the historians who have carefully studied her extraordinary life? The media that followed her every move for years? Or the family who knew and loved her long before she became the people's princess? Perhaps those who shared her happiest moments away from the cameras understand her in ways no documentary, headline, or public record ever truly can. Diana's sister understands her beyond what headlines or documentaries portray about her personality. But is Diana's family leaning toward what the headlines have led people to believe about her? Has their silence on matters involving their sister been golden? Or could Diana's legacy be better protected by their voice? Let's uncover the details. The Quiet Family Conversations. While the public remained focused on headlines, television interviews, royal appearances, and endless media coverage, reports suggest a very different story was unfolding behind closed doors. Away from cameras and public attention, members of Princess Diana's family were reportedly having thoughtful and deeply personal conversations about Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and the growing impact these events were having on Diana's legacy. These discussions were not described as heated arguments or dramatic family confrontations. Instead, they were said to be careful and emotional conversations as relatives tried to understand how years of public controversy were slowly changing the way the world remembered Diana and interpreted her extraordinary life. According to reports, Diana's family eventually realized that remaining silent was not stopping the public conversation. It was only encouraging more speculation. The longer they chose not to speak, the more people tried to interpret what that silence meant. Some believed it showed quiet support for Harry and Meghan, while others took it as a sign that the family disagreed with the direction events were taking. With no official explanation, countless assumptions began filling the gap. Meanwhile, the constant comparisons between Meghan and Diana continued to dominate headlines, documentaries, television programs, podcasts, and social media. Reports suggest the growing attention placed on Diana's relatives in an increasingly difficult position, where even choosing not to speak was viewed by many as sending a powerful message. Reports also suggest that Diana's family may not have shared the same perspective. While they were united by their love for Diana, each person likely viewed the situation through the lens of their own memories, emotions, and personal experiences with her. That does not necessarily point to disagreement or family conflict. Instead, it reflects something many families experience when dealing with the loss of someone they deeply loved. Everyone grieves, remembers, and responds differently. For Diana's relatives, protecting her legacy was never simply about speaking with one voice. It was about honoring the woman they each knew in their own unique and deeply personal way. As a result, the story has become even more fascinating. Almost nothing is publicly known about what was actually discussed behind those closed doors, leaving people to wonder what really took place. Every unanswered question has only fueled more curiosity, with many believing the private conversations may have been far more important than anything said in public. The longer those discussions remain hidden, the more speculation continues to grow. Instead of bringing clarity, they have deepened the mystery, suggesting that some of the most significant decisions, concerns, and emotions surrounding Diana's legacy may have unfolded quietly, far away from cameras, headlines, and public attention. Beyond Diana's family, approaching the comparison between Meghan and Diana with different voices rather than a united view, is there a historic moment when any of them made their opinion public? What was that opinion about Meghan? And could it be taken as the family's overall perspective? Let's find out. The early warning. Given long before Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped away from royal duties.
But the moment that rehabilitation comes at the detriment of others, me, other members of my family, then that's where I draw the line.
Before the explosive interviews, documentaries, and years of public disagreements dominated headlines around the world, reports suggest that quiet concerns may have already existed within Princess Diana's own family. According to royal author Tom Bower in his book Revenge, Harry was eager for the people who knew his mother best to meet Meghan. He reportedly introduced her to Diana's sisters, Lady Sarah McCorquodale and Jane Fellows, as well as Diana's longtime friend Julia Samuel, believing they would immediately see the same qualities in Meghan that had reminded him so much of his late mother. Harry is said to have hoped that those closest to Diana would instantly understand his feelings and wholeheartedly support his decision. According to Tom Bower's account, the meeting unfolded very differently from what Prince Harry had expected. Confident that those closest to Princess Diana would immediately embrace Meghan, Harry reportedly believed they would recognize the same qualities he saw in her. Instead, Bower claims some of Diana's relatives and longtime friends responded with quiet caution rather than excitement. Their reported concerns were not aimed at criticizing Meghan personally or rejecting the relationship. Rather, they questioned whether anyone could truly be prepared for the relentless media attention, intense public scrutiny, and immense pressures that come with royal life. Having watched Diana struggle under those same conditions, they were reportedly speaking from experience, hoping Harry would carefully consider the challenges that lay ahead before making such a life-changing decision. According to Tom Bower's account, one of the strongest voices urging caution was Diana's brother, Earl Spencer. Rather than rushing into such a life-changing decision, he reportedly encouraged Harry to slow down, think carefully, and give the relationship more time. Having witnessed firsthand the immense pressures that royal life placed on his own sister, Earl is said to have believed that careful consideration was essential. Bower further claims Harry was deeply disappointed by the advice, believing Diana's family would naturally support his choice instead of questioning it. Although these reported conversations have never been independently confirmed, they continue to attract widespread attention because they present a very different version of events from the one many people had long believed. If Bower's account is accurate, it suggests that concerns surrounding Harry and Meghan's relationship did not suddenly appear after they left royal life. Instead, they may have existed long before the wedding, revealing that some of the tensions which later became public could have begun much earlier than anyone realized. Diana's brother reportedly warned Harry when he wanted to marry Meghan, fearing that she might not be able to cope with the pressures of royal life. But could the family's concern have been more about Harry than Meghan? What does this reveal about Diana's family, and what could it mean for Diana's legacy? Diana's legacy at a crossroads. As reports about Lady Sarah McCorquodale's perspective began spreading, the conversation surrounding Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and Princess Diana's legacy seemed to enter an entirely new chapter. For years, the public had grown used to hearing opinions from royal commentators, former palace staff, journalists, and television personalities. But Sarah's reported involvement immediately felt different. She was not viewed as someone chasing headlines or trying to influence public opinion. Instead, she was Diana's sister, a woman who had shared a lifetime of memories with her long before palaces, royal titles, and worldwide fame transformed her life forever. Because of that unique connection, many people believed her reported perspective carried an emotional depth and personal understanding that few others could match. Unlike many loud and often divisive voices that have shaped royal conversations over the years, Sarah's reported remarks were described as calm, thoughtful, and carefully balanced. Rather than making accusations or clearly taking sides, her comments were said to show understanding of Prince Harry's personal struggles, while also gently expressing concern about how Princess Diana's memory continues to be used in modern debates involving Meghan Markle and the royal family. Instead of adding more heat to an already emotional issue, her perspective reportedly encouraged deeper reflection. It pushed people to think about responsibility, family history, and how carefully Diana's legacy should be handled. At the same time, it highlighted the delicate line between honoring her memory and interpreting today's events through the powerful influence of her life story. Not surprisingly, Lady Sarah's reported message sparked a wide range of reactions. Some people saw it as a quiet reminder that Princess Diana's name should be treated with a greater care and respect whenever it becomes part of public debate. Others believed she was simply trying to protect her sister's true legacy from being overshadowed by the never-ending royal controversies. At the same time, many urged caution, pointing out that these accounts are based on reports rather than confirmed public statements, making it important not to draw firm conclusions too quickly. Whatever conclusions people ultimately reach, Sarah's reported involvement has undeniably changed the direction of the conversation. The focus has shifted beyond individual controversies and toward much larger questions about family loyalty, personal memory, historical responsibility, and who ultimately has the greatest authority to define Princess Diana's story for future generations. Whether her reported perspective brings greater understanding or leads to even more debate remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that Diana's legacy continues to inspire admiration, provoke difficult conversations, and shape the lives of those closest to her. Decades after her passing, her influence remains just as powerful, ensuring that every new perspective adds another meaningful chapter to a story the world still cannot stop discussing. So, what do you think about Diana's family's approach to the controversy? Could they have defended Meghan? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe